Yeah, so this is an interesting one. Again, kind of putting this one off for a while because I can't really play it. So, what do you notice? Something funny going on here? So this is an Ibanez. I think it's called a Studio. Um, I think these might have only been available in UK. I think what it is originally is blazer neck on a musician body, kind of a mishmash of the two. Um, the original, the original guitar, as you can tell, this isn't a guitar anymore. This is an octave mandolin. So 8 strings, 2 pairs, tuned GC. It's like I'm so unsure about this. I'm going to actually use the tuner to tell you what it's tuned to. So, yeah, this tuner's going. This has to go. Oh, I'll get the volume down. Up there. G D A E. So it's G D A E. This was strung with funny strings. This is my pal Bob's, Burger Bob. I got this I think before Christmas actually, and it's like I wasn't really sure what to do with it. I think the principles are kind of there. Whoever it was converted, it did a reasonable job. It was like the bridge is kind of not bad. It's got like a bit of intonation back and forward, and you can move the bar. I cut extra slots to take the extra strings there. It's obviously got an 8 string, 2 pairs, so it's like it's two strings per string. Yep. Yeah, so that does it have a year on it? It is. It's a 1982. So I think my blazer, it's down there, is an 82 as well. So it's the same neck. And I reckon this was probably converted quite a long time ago. In fact, it was converted. I'd have a total guess that it was converted before this fretwear went on. Because if you see there, it's worn on either side of the string, but not in the middle, where your finger would be. So that must be a chord. So if you. It's not a very nice chord, but it's a chord. I can sort of play some chords. That's a something. That's a something. That's a something. So that's a chord. Yep, the electrics are. I think these electrics might be original. So this is a phase switch. So when you're in the middle position, out of phase, in phase. Going to be difficult. So on a practical level, it makes sense. I don't know if you remember. Probably a couple of months, maybe the end of last year, I had built a similar thing out of a wee short scale thing for that idea. The thing about a mandolin, though, I mean, the idea of having everyone's had a mandolin at one point and then given up because the stupid wee frets you can't get your fingers between because it's so small. So same tuning, just an octave down. Maybe it could maybe be a bass mandolin, a bass mando. So it's just a case of different chord shapes, but it gives you different things. I can totally see how like I don't know, like a folk band or something. If you want, it's a definite thing. And I think for learning the mandolin, which is why Bob bought it, I think is it's obviously you don't have to deal with that stupid you're like frets so close together. It's very difficult. I just find my big monkey fingers just cover all of them, whereas this one, the fret spacing is all good. It was strung wrong when I got it. I got round it using 2 sets of acoustic strings, so it was GCAE, I said, wasn't it? It was G. So I wrote it down in a packet of strings when I strung it. I can't remember what it was it actually ended up doing. But so the G would be a these are acoustic A strings tuned down to G, because what it had on before was very, 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 very tensioned, so everyone was tuned up, but it was like totally, it was like a bow and arrow ready to explode. Now the string tension is kind of normal, so we've got, okay, it's a 25.5-inch scale, so it's slightly more taut than an A string tuned down a whole step to G, but it's within the realms of kind of normal tension. So that would be the G. The C was a D string, so that's A string tuned down to G, D string tuned down to C. So both these strings are one step down from what they would be on an acoustic guitar. An A was B tuned down one. Yeah, and then E was E. So that's the same tension. It is an E, isn't it? Yeah, and that's I said it was a C. Don't have a C on a guitar. Yeah, so yeah, so one of the things that kind of upset me a little bit is like this has been done 20 years ago, probably more than that. So at the time, Roadsters were amazing when they came out, and then people was like, no, buy Fenders. So there was a time when you could pick up Roadsters for 50 quid, 100 quid, you know what I mean? Not anymore, but you used to, and it's because people didn't want an Ibanez Roadster. Oh no, you can buy a Squire for that. Yes, you can, but it's not as good. Nothing's as good as an Ibanez Roadster. Even this one's a kind of an odd one. It's got the original knobs on it, the ones with the rubber things from a condom factory. The rubber grips, Sure Grip I think they're called. It's got the Matsumoku shaped switch, sort of different shape pickup switch, and these are Super 70 pickups. It's like Super 70 pickups. Cream as well, they'd be amazing. There's the one that's in that the red one there, and one Eddie Van Halen used. So I mean, and very similar to what's in the Washburn Vulcan. Don't look the same, because they don't have the hex poles, but I think the actual what shape, what type of poles on it doesn't really make any difference. It's more the type of magnet and the amount of wines, all that sort of crap's more like it. So because I know that when the guy first made the Yamaki Washburn wings, it's like when he spec'd the pickups, he just went and said, I want Ibanez Super 70s, so Goto or Maxon made them the same, apart from with what looked like DiMarzio Super Distortion poles on them rather than what this one has, which is not hexagonal poles. Yeah, and it's also got the second switch. This one's a phase switch, so it only works when you're in both. I don't actually even know. I don't actually know. That's a neck tone. And I'd imagine that's a bridge tone then. Yep. So the other switch is a treble bleed, which I don't think I don't think that was a thing at the time, but it's a treble bleed, so it doesn't seem to do anything. But this I've always wanted to never get down to it. I always want to fit one of these to one of my guitars. The treble bleed thing's a funny thing because in some cases it's incredibly useful if you're running into quite a controlled rig, like or digital thing. It means that when you turn the volume down, it doesn't change the actual sound, it just gets quieter. Whereas I tend to ride the volume control a little bit when I'm playing through, like Sovtech or something up at volume, where you can put it down to sort of 7, 8, and it becomes more, so it's almost like having a bit of a tone control. Some of the treble goes away, and it means when you go between 9 and 10 you get a sort of boost, so you can kind of throttle back 7 or 8, get a sort of relatively in the mix sound, and then when it comes to your solo you whack it up to full bung and it's like you're brighter and you stick out. So if I put the volume at half, now you can hear it doing something. So that's it. That's the treble bleed on. Try not to play chords that are not the ones that not stupid chords, because not normal strings. So see when you turn the volume down there, it does more than turn the volume down. It changes the actual timbre There's one for you, Mr. White. Tombre. But when you put when the treble bleeds on, it doesn't. It stays the same. It just gets louder. So that's basically what a treble bleed is, which might work very well for something like this when you're not relying on what's going to drive pedals. Which obviously you can. Obviously I'm going to do that in a minute. But I'm not going to be able to play very much on it. I want to really be able to just cut power chords. That can't be difficult, can it? Right. There's your power chord. It's a hell of a stretch. There must be a way to do it. How can I get a power chord? See, part of the fun of this is working out what it is you can actually do. So, yeah. So okay. Oh, so if I'm doing. That's a power chord if I mute the middle one. Yeah. Let's not continue down that avenue. Yeah, but so as I was saying there, the only thing I've got against this guitar is, yes, I would totally have done this, but I would have done it with a cheaper guitar. As an experiment, I wonder if maybe whoever it was did it with a cheaper guitar, like a plywood monster from, we're talking 20, 30 years ago, did it with a plywood thing. The concept worked and went, I want a real professional grade gigging octave mandolin, which I'm sure you can get now, but I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have been able, not easily sourced anyway. Yes, so beautiful one piece neck on it. Super 70 pickups, brass bridge, brass saddle actually, which looks like it's been machined somewhere. Someone's had that made specifically. It's actually got made in Japan. The extra two tuners, these two. So conceptually, it doesn't work too bad. Some of the string trees don't really do exactly what I've not used all the string trees to try and get it working right, but it's actually playing as good as I can really expect it. It's like I'm not really feeling wrong. It's much easier to play than a mandolin. Frets. Maybe the treble bleed's actually good when it's off. Are you trying to do some sort of loop on it? Yes, I am. Is it going to be awful? Yes! How did I manage to do that? Somebody give me a tuner. Or take it to bits and replace the socket on it. That'd probably do it. Phased. Oh, the strings in the wrong place. Rat pedal. Oh, actually, I'm kind of finding little bits that you kind of go, well, maybe there'll be a Bucky one of these coming up at some point. Probably better with electric strings actually, but it was acoustic strings I had. Mind you, did you get electro mandolins? Yeah. Yeah, so to be honest, the reason I didn't do a video of this is I took this up to Scott's and did do a video, and I decided I was going to try and buy the guitar off Bob. So I want to turn it back into a guitar. Some Super 70 pickups in it, man. And a Blazer neck. I mean, the Blazer neck is one of the best Stratocaster necks you will ever try. If you ever get a chance of trying an Ibanez blazer, whatever they look like, obviously this isn't the normal shape. Blazers, yeah, well, I've seen this hundreds of times. You know, it's more a strat. But there's also one. They also did. I think it's I don't think it's an artist. I think it's a musician, which is basically like this. Apart from it's got a 6-a-side headstock. Kind of that's a Roadstar base, but you know that kind of shaped headstock on it. And I think this was using up old Blazer necks. Although I do know that Blazer Fujigen Ibanez are generally buy guitars from Fujigen, now FGN, but like the Roadsters and the original Roadsters, the first Ibanez Strati type guitars, which you couldn't get with a one-piece maple neck, were made by Fujigen, but they didn't know how to make, or they didn't have the machine to make the one-piece maple necks. You know, it's got that's how you put the truss rod in. The rest of it's just one piece of maple. So they used a company called Dyna for 2 years to make the Blazer line, and then they went, and then they knew how to. They copied it. They bought the machine, whatever it is. Is that Fender? It's 1983. The Bullet is a one-piece maple neck, and it's Fujigen Fender Japan. So they knew how to do it by that point. So I think maybe once they started making their own ones in 82 or 83, they maybe had necks from Dyna still lying about. So they mounted it with whatever they had lying about. They're not super rare. I have seen more of them. It's not like a one-off or anything like that. Tony and Blitzkrieg had one. But I think they might be. I don't think they're in any catalogues. I think it's a sort of end of line idea type thing. But the necks on the Ibanez Blazers are stunning. The necks are. It's as I said this before when I had my pal Jim's American Strats in. That's the Japanese. The Fujigen ones feel they're amazing, and I wouldn't say they were inferior to the American Fender necks. I know the internet won't like that. Try them both, then comment. Don't just go, I think you'll find Fender or America are better. I've seen that in all the forums. No. Play them both and don't play a Blazer that's not set up or it's got chunks out or it's only got one string and then say it's not as good as my £5,000 Fender. Right. Play one that actually works, a decent one. Well, they're all decent, but one that doesn't have damage to it, basically. It's really bizarre because it feels so familiar. Everything, it looks the same, the angle I'm looking at, everything looks the same, and then you just go and try and play a chord and it's just got too many strings and they're in groups of two and all that stuff. It's a bit mental. But yeah. And yes, so the reason I didn't, I was going to try and buy it off Bob. And he's like, up here, no, I want you to fix it. So and then I kind of, the string tension was so taut, it hurt, you couldn't hold the strings down. It was like, just not the right type. He's probably bought octave mandolin strings, and maybe an octave mandolin isn't the 25.5-inch scale, maybe an octave mandolin's 22 or something, so the tensions would have all been lower. So it's like someone who bought a Sakai off me. They were into Sonic Youth and they were going to tune it to F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, C, F sharp or something like that, and I was like, you get strings like that pure, any string can do any note, it's just got to get the right thickness of string. So yes, it is possible on a bass to get whatever the A is. It might not necessarily be. It's just a number. The string doesn't know whether it's going to be an A. It's like up here, yeah. So whatever an A string is probably the same as an E string on another scale, or it's not to do with tensions. But it definitely does have it's a pleasant sound on the two chords I can play, you know. What was it? Oh, there you go. The one song, I'll try to get it here. remember the 3 chords, but I can't remember what order they go in. 2 seconds. I can remember the chords. A minor's the one I've got to get. Like, which I'm sure is something like. There you go. The drums shake the castle walls, and there's riding back. Face the night, embrace the dawn, bring us on my back. Ride on, dance in the dark of night, sing to the morning light. Ride on, blow down your plow and roll, and that's where we're gonna go. Yeah, okay. So, notice in there that maybe mandolin chords aren't the way to go. Not that I know. One of the 3 that I know is A minor, which is that. That's like a 4 fret stretch. So, I mean, it's there. Don't kill me, Led Zeppelin. Obviously, it's an octave down. You can use an octave pedal to shift it up. Then you've got a mandolin, so this octave pedal up the way, mandolin, that one out. Again, something like that's not a. That's a difficult chord to play when you're not used to it with that sort of stretch, but there will be other A's in there. So we've got that's D, that's G. So G, that's an A. That's G, not G minor, was it? Brain confused notes. At least, I suppose, one of the disadvantages is if you've got a mandolin, it's crazy tiny, so you're so busy concentrating the fact that the strings are so close together and stuff like that. You're now going, oh, it's so difficult to play, and then you've got to work out all the different the chord shapes and where the notes in relation to each other are. Whereas in this, it's like, yeah, I'm playing my blazer. This is easy. Oh, they're all different. It's not even just a different tuning. I can't handle different tunings either, but it's different tunings, but different number of strings. It's just, when you do it right, really, it's lovely though. And I did actually get asked how much to charge to convert it back to a guitar, but I told Bob, I've just spent ages making it play as a mandolin. Have a go at trying to learn it. My learning mandolin basically involved looking up the chords for the Battle of Evermore and then trying to play that for a couple of weeks, getting annoyed with it and then never really playing it again. So it's like, that's not really a proper how to learn the mandolin. You know, I don't know any of the fundamentals or what the chords were called. Well, I think that's a G, or that's a G. That's a G7. Yeah. Anyway, so lovely guitar. What's been done to it? I think there might be a demand for something like this. This might actually be worth quite a lot of money because it's done well and it works. You know, I can do it. It's the same as like say when I'm working on a left-handed guitar. I can't play it at all, but I know the dimensions and the heights and the tensions and how the electrics work and all that. I can still make it work. I just can't demonstrate it working. But I think it's quite nice. I can sort of see the sort of very, very much a wood colour with I can see this fitting in quite nicely with a sort of, you know, a pipe smoking jumper wearing folky brigades, finger in the ear, you know, with a beard, obviously. Churning out some Orkney folk tunes on it. Yeah, but with a fuzz pedal maybe, or something like that, yeah. Maybe something like Pete and Diesel would actually be quite good or something like this. He plays an Ibanez RG. But you could... And there'll be certain chord sequences and stuff. That the thing about that Battle of Evermore one is that was the first song Jimmy Page ever played on a mandolin. So he just worked out how to play 2 or 3 chords and then played that. John Paul Jones actually played it on the album. That's why it's all... because he knows how to play it. So the chords Jimmy Page were playing were more the easiest way of playing any chords, but not necessarily... Kind of tempted to sit and faff about with this. Right, anyway, so this wasn't meant to be today's video. I was up at Scott's last night. I forgot to upload the videos, so I need to go get them off of myself. But this has been sitting there for... I did this a couple of weeks ago. I've actually got another couple of Bob guitars, including this one, which we're about to... I've started. I'm going to continue. It's a Samick Super Strat. A year on it. Starts with a 1993 perhaps. I'm trying to decide what it is. What are these scoops that does it remind me of? Chapman kind of copied that, didn't it? It's a Chapman. In fact, a Chapman not made by Samick as well. It's basically just there you go. So what did Chapman do? They put on their own fret markings and called it a different name. There's your guitar. And not just in looks. I'm talking about construction wise as well, I think. But I mean, I can see how this could totally give you, see if you're like a songwriter. Especially, I'm actually looking at you, T-Gun. It's like, you know, sitting there looking for inspiration to do a song. It's like, start off, you can just like... You can just play some things. You need another chord though. So there's your octave there. So that could be worked out. So you can sort of... no, it's the same on different strings though. Yes, but obviously the thing I think would be the most fun of trying to write a song is like you'd start off with this as the riff sort of thing, yeah, and then you go up, you're right, I'll put the bass on it, and it'll be like, what are these notes? There only are 12 on a bass, so they can't be that different. But it's just that whole working the relationship between the strings. See, I wasn't too badly there with like going between two. That's fine, but then when you go to the third one, it's the same relationship to the second one as the first one was. My God, I'm talking rubbish. Anyhow, rock on live stream tomorrow night. I was actually in Nevada today and I took a video, so I think it's going to be I put a very, very edited one out for the live thing. But I'm definitely going to do this membership thing. That's me started putting videos into the members only category where you have to pay $5 a month, which works out at 12 pence a video or something like that. You don't have to watch adverts. Plus, you can rest assured that I get 10 times as much money as I do from YouTube. I was working out, my wee brother's done a film, actually The Yurt Swine, look that up, I'll put a link. Actually, me and Scott watched it last night. Actually, really enjoyed it. It's like really good. It's like, oh, this is. It's actually I quite enjoyed it. It's like I've definitely seen worse films, and it was quite enjoyable. It was not a bad time. It was like an hour and 5 minutes. It's like pure. I think he kind of made a film and then found out how long it was, rather than going, right, we're going to make an hour and a half long film or a 15-minute film. That's how long the film had to be. So no constraints. No, I really enjoyed that. I forgot what my point was there though. Yes, anyway, he's like he's actually 30,000 views on it, which is well done. And I was like, I think my highest video, the Yamaha one, it's a Yamaha ERG, gets about that. And I was like, he was at 31,000, I was at 30 and a half or something. It's like, so he'd managed to, but in saying that, he'd spent 6 months making a film, you know, with lots of people and working on it and editing it and doing all that stuff. And I basically bought a cheap guitar, roughly tuned it up, went, hey YouTube, and then talked for 10 minutes for that. But that was, so it was like 30,000 views I got on that, or just shy of that. So I'm getting 31,000 views a month. Like 1,100 views a day. I've got a huge back catalogue. And, you know, getting 60 quid a month for 30,000 views. So that's how much I get from the advertising. So if you can give me a £5 a month, it means that you don't have to watch any adverts at all, and I will make 10 times as much money. Something like that. YouTube doesn't make anything, which is always good. And that's with only 10 people do it. But some of these videos are funny. I was talking about this in the video, which will be members only. The one when I was going to the bars today. Been a bit trying to edit these things down. I've been talking for nearly 40 minutes. I mean, it's a Saturday night. It's fun. What time is it? About even 5 o'clock. 5, 6. Shit. I should be able to get it up live tonight by 7. Might be a wee bit late. If I stop now. I do love doing these big long ones and stuff like that, but YouTube algorithm doesn't like it. What a YouTube algorithm tells you to do is do like 5 to 10 minute videos, because then you get people watching the whole video. I'm sure the hardcore probably are still watching at this point. And I'll do the thing at the start where it says, please like and subscribe, here's membership, Patreon, all that stuff, and I'll play guitars that other people have heard of. And then there'll be an option that'll probably just be from my half an hour talking crap video. I'll just put snippets in, just try and keep it. Or maybe is it YouTube Shorts as well? I might do that. Like, so each video will have 3 different versions. It will have the 30-second thing, which is me going, hey YouTube, this is an Ibanez Roadster. Then immediately appear, chink, 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 on distortion, chink, 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 on clean, bye-bye. And then there'll be one where it's like maybe 5 minutes of a little bit of information. And then there'll be the full version where I just go, oh, I remember having one of these in 1998. And I saw, Jimmy Page had one. All that rubbish, which I love to tack on. Rock on. See you tomorrow night for live stream, Steam. I think I'll have the Bucky again tomorrow night. It's been 2 weeks without a drink. Just didn't feel like it. I don't feel like it. Someone said, you want a bottle of Bucky tonight? I'd be like, no, but I might force myself. Eventually, I don't have to drink the whole bottle. I can just have, you know, there's not a Scottish thing. Don't do this in Scotland, but it is possible to have like a couple of glasses of wine, as in 1 or 2. Ah, yeah. Just don't do that. You get pure tanked. That's why you're drinking. You drink to get steaming. You don't drink to get slightly mellow and get a little bit of a buzz. You know what I mean? People would buy 4 beers. Mad. Rock on.